has Korean dramas, music, food, and now Korean jewelry, anyone? These one-of-a-kind contemporary pieces fusing Western and Korean artistry are now available here, thanks to the efforts of Singapore-based Korean-American entrepreneur Honey Lee. Hello, Honey.
Hi.
Okay, you have a really cool name.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a double whammy because my name in Korean is Hyunhee. So if you pretty much translate that, it sounds like honey.
Have people ever confused you with the Korean Miss Universe, who was very famous?
Okay, I was around way before her, so that honey is an imposter. I'm sorry, but yes. I mean, it's a big joke, but I'm not nearly as pretty as her. But yeah. And the funny thing was when she was actually in that pageant, I was in Mexico as well. Oh. So when I got back, everyone was like, "Is that what you went to Mexico to do?" But yeah, I mean, I'm always rooting for the Koreans, so yeah.
That would explain why she founded her company HANculture here in July 2011 to spot, discover, and support standout Korean products that deserve more recognition by bringing them into Singapore. Her first baby, a line of artisan jewelry designed by retired criminology professor Kim In-suk, which she sells at parties and small trunk shows. OK-Pop was there at the launch of her latest designs at Barcode in Little India last Saturday.
In-suk Kim, she's very well known in Korea. She really kind of runs along the circles of the ambassadors' wives and diplomats. She used to be a criminology professor, actually, for about 30 years or so. And then she said, look, I'm retiring, I'm going to do what I love. And so she sits there in her workshop and makes everything.
How different is this line of jewelry and how Korean is it? Honey talks us through some of the key pieces.
My newest collection right now has a lot of mesh, using crystal beads, using pearls, using different elements, and using this mesh. So not anyone does this here, I think, in Singapore at the moment. So this is something that's really, it's not so Asian, but it's still something very new and fun. And then again, you have things that are traditional. The Han collection in general, it's never going by a season, so there's no spring, summer, fall, winter, but I continue to build on the collection. So lots of vintage beading, pearl, and amethyst. So this is a good example of just kind of a combination of all the materials. Amethyst is traditionally very Korean. I think it's good luck, it brings good health. So a lot of the jewelry you'll find is purple, amethyst, gems, cut stones, and so on. So this is a good piece. This is another one, which is quite great, and it's very easy to wear. Well, this one, for example, I mean, it's a combination, though, I guess, of the material and the design. So this, you obviously have the jade, but you also have these flowers. And if you actually look at a lot of the Korean temples and the paintings and the calligraphy and things actually on these temples, you'll see lots of this flower work, lots of floral kind of calligraphy as well and design. So this is a very good example of something that's very Asian, very Korean in the design aspect. And then this as well. If you look at a piece like this, again, there's lots of amethyst being used on this kind of chain and the beading, but as well as this jade piece, kind of the carving on it and this type of kind of engraving, if you can see it, is very Asian and in turn Korean as well.
A piece with this much intricate carving, they usually use it on the hanbok, right? A big piece of jade usually that they hang here.
Yeah, so this, for example, and I think this is a very good piece to show, they can actually make it into a pin, or you can use it on the lapel when you do a hanbok. So you'll see this kind of thing very often in terms of the engraving and the jade that people actually use for that kind of purpose. A lot of how you'll see the traditional happening with the jewelry. Again, it's the material with how they cut it and what's kind of inside of it. This is one example. This jade.
Oh, wow.
It's really a staple piece. It's one of the much more traditional pieces. And then again, you'll see, like I said, materials and then the engraving.
You even see the fu and everything in there. So Chinese is in there too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people say Koreans come from the Chinese. So
do you believe that?
I don't know. I think I'm pretty Korean, so I don't know.
And no matter where she is in the world, she says she can always spot her fellow Koreans from afar. Next up, Honey shares with us what she calls her K-da.